May 1st, 2011, 1 a.m. local time. 2 Black Hawk helicopters cut through the darkness over Abbottabad, Pakistan, silent, invisible, and carrying 24 of the most elite warriors on the planet. Their target, the most wanted man in human history. Their mission, get in, confirm the kill, and get out, before Pakistan even knew they were there. This is the story of Operation Neptune Spear, the night the world changed forever. It began with the worst day in American history, September 11th, 2001. Nearly 3,000 people were killed in a coordinated terrorist attack orchestrated by one man, Osama bin Laden, leader of Al-Qaeda. Within days, the U.S. launched the largest manhunt in history, and for nearly a decade, they found nothing. Bin Laden had vanished. Some thought he was dead. Others believed he was hiding in the mountains of Afghanistan. The CIA followed thousands of leads, almost all of them dead ends. Then, in 2010, a single breakthrough changed everything. Intelligence analysts had been tracking a mysterious figure, a courier known only by his alias, Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti. This man was trusted enough to deliver messages directly to bin Laden, and after years of patient surveillance, they found him. He led them straight to a compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan, a city home to a Pakistani military academy, a city no one expected. The compound was unlike anything they had seen. 12-foot walls topped with barbed wire, privacy walls on the balconies, no phone lines, no internet, burned trash instead of regular garbage collection. Someone inside was hiding, and the CIA was almost certain they knew who. For months, analysts studied the compound from satellites and surveillance drones. What they found was deeply suspicious. The main building was 3 stories tall, far larger than anything else in the neighborhood. Yet the family living there had no visible source of income. One man, tall, with a long beard, was seen walking in circles in the courtyard every day. They called him the Pacer. They could never get a clear look at his face. CIA Director Leon Panetta later said the confidence that bin Laden was inside ranged between 40 and 95%, depending on who you asked. President Obama called it a 50-50 shot, but it was the best lead they had in a decade. On April 29, 2011, President Barack Obama gave the order. We're going in. The mission was handed to SEAL Team 6, officially known as DEV Group, the Naval Special Warfare Development Group. These were not ordinary soldiers. They were the best of the best, warriors who had spent years training for exactly this kind of mission. 24 SEALs were selected. They trained on a full-scale replica of the compound for weeks. Every hallway, every doorway, every staircase, memorized. They would fly in 2 modified MH-60 Black Hawk helicopters, stealth variants that had never been publicly acknowledged. Quiet, radar evading, designed to cross into Pakistan without detection. 2 backup Chinook helicopters would wait nearby, loaded with additional troops and fuel, in case things went wrong. The plan: fast rope onto the roof and into the compound, clear each floor, find bin Laden, confirm his identity, and extract, all within 30 to 40 minutes. Simple on paper. Almost nothing would go according to plan. May 1st, 2011. The helicopters lifted off from Jalalabad, Afghanistan just after midnight. They flew low, hugging the terrain to avoid radar detection. The crew wore night vision goggles. The SEALs sat in silence, weapons ready. Then, disaster struck before they even landed. As the first Black Hawk descended into the compound, it lost lift in the warm night air and crashed into the courtyard wall. The tail rotor clipped the wall, and the helicopter went down hard. Miraculously, no one was seriously injured. The SEALs trained for this. They adapted instantly. Within seconds, they were out of the wreckage and moving. The second helicopter landed outside the compound walls. Those SEALs breached the outer perimeter and moved in. Inside, it was chaos. Bin Laden's couriers and guards were armed. Gunfire erupted on the ground floor. The SEALs moved fast, clearing each room with precision. One of Bin Laden's sons, Khaled, confronted the SEALs on the staircase. He was shot and killed. The team pushed upward, floor by floor, until they reached the third floor. And there, at the end of a darkened hallway, was Osama bin Laden. He was taller than they expected. He was unarmed, but he moved, possibly reaching for a weapon nearby. One of the SEALs fired twice. Osama bin Laden was dead. The time was 1:05 a.m. The entire assault had lasted less than 15 minutes. The SEALs had a problem. With one helicopter destroyed, they were one aircraft short. They quickly called in one of the backup Chinooks. Meanwhile, they collected everything they could: hard drives, USB drives, documents, notebooks. Intelligence analysts would later call it the mother lode, the largest collection of Al-Qaeda intelligence ever seized. They had already been on the ground for nearly 30 minutes. Pakistani military radar was beginning to respond. They had minutes, maybe less. The SEALs destroyed the crashed Black Hawk with explosives to protect its classified stealth technology. Then, they lifted off into the night. Back at the White House, President Obama and his national security team had been watching via drone feed. The room was silent as the helicopters crossed back into Afghan airspace. Then, cheers. Obama stood up and shook hands with CIA Director Panetta. After nearly 10 years, it was over. At 11:35 p.m. Washington time, Obama addressed the nation. Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda. The world woke up to the news on May 2nd, 2011. Crowds gathered outside the White House, at Ground Zero in New York, at military bases across the country. Bin Laden's body was flown to the USS Carl Vinson aircraft carrier in the North Arabian Sea. Within 24 hours of his death, he was buried at sea, in accordance with Islamic tradition, but also to ensure no grave could become a shrine. The compound in Abbottabad was demolished by Pakistani authorities months later. The SEALs involved remained anonymous, as they still do today. Their identities are protected, their sacrifice unannounced. Operation Neptune Spear stands as one of the most precise, high-stakes special operations missions ever executed. A decade of intelligence work, 40 minutes on the ground, and a result that changed history. But the war on terror didn't end that night, and the SEALs who carried out this mission knew that better than anyone. They were already planning the next operation. If you want to see more operations like this, the missions that never make the news, the decisions made in the dark, the soldiers who never come home, subscribe. We cover the real stories behind the world's most dangerous military operations every week. And drop a comment. Which operation should we cover next?